Go ahead. With Derek yesterday and Reed today, are you now the biggest transfer portal advocate in the country?
I think I was before that. I'm not the biggest advocate for the transfer portal, but since it is what it is, you need to win it. And we've been winning the transfer portal. And you win the portal, you win the games. So not a fan of it, but since it exists, we're going to win it.
The way you deployed your pitchers today, you went back with a couple guys that I'm assuming you might not want to have thrown today, but at that point in the game, was that when you made that decision, or did you decide coming in, hey, if it's close, I'm going to bring back Hamilton and Gavin?
Yeah, that's what baseball's a unique sport, because on Wednesday we went down and played Marshall, and Van Kempen could have thrown a complete game, and we might have won that game. You never know, but we got him out of there after 4 innings and 50-some pitches, and because of that, we won this game. So in football, you don't really save your quarterback to win the following game, and in basketball, you don't save your point guards, but in baseball, sometimes you have to think ahead a little bit, and because of that, I think we won. Gavin was really good.
Coach, what did it say about the resiliency of this team? Down 4 runs, just kept battling to come back into this game.
Well, we've been through it. There's nobody out there that's been through what we've been through. And then when we didn't score, we scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th, and when we didn't win it, bases loaded, 1 out. All of a sudden you tied the game, but they have the momentum because the game you thought was just about over, and they're back in it, and wind blowing out. They could easily thrown a run up there, because that kind of deflated you a little bit when you don't win the game there. But for our guys to battle back and win it after that happened, and I just told them, I was like, been saying all year, over the course of a long season, you're going to play all different kind of games. This is our first walk-off. We've been walked off a couple times, and when that happened at Stetson and Charlotte, we said, hey, don't worry about it, man. Our walk-off's coming. Happened to be at a really good time when you're in first place in the league. So, but we'll see what Hageman's deal is. Looks like we're going to be without him for a while, and that's not anything we're unaccustomed to around here, is being without one of our best guys. So we'll just see how that plays out.
Coach, in that 9th, the walk that Grant Hussey drew, some of those pitches looked really close. What did they look like from you, and the discipline he had to take those? I mean, that's okay, all right.
They weren't close. They were balls. No, the most impressive thing of that at-bat was the 3-2 pitch before that he fouled off to get to the walk, because that's the pitch that he had been swinging through and swinging and missing at most of the game. But he got a really good swing at that pitch and made the pitcher throw a different pitch on the other side of the plate, and that's why he drew that walk. That's the kind of stuff you don't really see when you're watching the game. You just see the results, but he changed the way that pitcher was pitching him.
With the way you're discussing the pitching, the way you used it, I'm assuming a little bit of the look ahead for the pinch runners, the pinch hitters. You've got to think about your defense, the way your batting order is going to look next inning up.
Gavin Van Kempen was in the lineup when that game ended. If his turn would have come up to bat, we still had Igor. We were holding him in the he hadn't been in the game yet, so. We had. I just told him it's a team win, man. All the injuries early on that created the depth that we have now. Aaron Jamison leads off the 9th with like a 9-pitch at bat, just getting his swing off over. That's a freshman from MHS in front of this crowd for first place in the Big 12. That's a team that knows how to win and is learning how to win.
Pinch running for JJ, was he fine or anything?
He hasn't been 100% yet this season,
he got plunked a couple times.
It had nothing to do with it. I gave him the option. JJ's running at about 80%, and the pinch runner that came in was running at 100%, and I asked JJ who would win a race between him at 80 and Barone at 100, and he left it up to me. So I would never put J.J. Weatherholt in a position to hurt himself. So, didn't want that spot to come back up in the order without J.J.
Sure.
But, we had to try and win the game right there.
That would have been Van Kempen then, right?
No, Barone went to the outfield. He made that catch in right field. So Van Kempen was hitting in Seepeck's spot.
I got you.
series sweep like this, what does that mean for you all, especially to stay atop the Big 12?
You know, this league is so crazy. You know, it's nice to have a cushion. You know, we're fighting for first place, but anything can happen on any weekend. You never know what can happen when you go on the road. The cushion is really, really nice. And it would be nice if other people would help us, you know. But, yeah, I mean, here we are on, April 14th or 15th in first place in the Big 12. Who would have thought? You know, we lost going into the season when they said we lost our Friday pitcher, our Saturday pitcher, 3 outfielders, and you would have thought, you know, people thought this was a rebuilding year. You don't rebuild anymore in the portal. You just put your head down and grind and replace.
Gavin's performance today after Central Florida scored all those runs, just talk about his moment today.
Yeah, he can be so good. He's had flashes of being so good. This was one of them, and you never know how we're going to have to use him now. We'll see what Hageman's situation is, but if he can do that at the end of games. Estridge has been pitching good out of the bullpen. I thought Switolski pitched pretty well today. We're just going to have to keep shuffling until we find the right pieces, but a guy that proves that he can start games and close games is worth his weight in gold. So that's what Gavin's been doing.
Thanks, Coach.